The Aliens franchise hasn't seen many new games since the acclaimed Alien Isolation launched in 2014. There was the co-op third-person shooter Aliens Fireteam Elite, but it didn't quite capture the terror of leading a squad of Marines into the unknown. Tendalos Interactive is taking a stab at it next, with Aliens Dark Descent on Xbox One, PS4, PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. It's an action strategy game focused on squad-based tactics and survival, where you issue commands, complete objectives, gather resources, and ultimately try to make it out alive. It's out on June 20th, so here's what you should know before jumping in for Close Encounters. Planet Lethe.
This wasn't human.
After an uprising causes an outbreak of xenomorphs on Lethe, your squad of colonial marines is sent to deal with the fallout. Things quickly go awry, and the team must gather resources to fix their ship, the Otago, which is stranded. On the Otago, you'll control Mako Hayes, an administrator for the infamous Weyland-Yutani Corporation, and on missions, Jonas Harper of the USCM, to lead your troops into battle. As you progress through the campaign, it becomes clear that Lethe holds its share of secrets. Real-time squad-based action. You can have up to 5 Marines in a single squad, and they move together through the shadowy structures of Lethe, responding accordingly based on the best soldier for what task. Commands are issued in real time, and your team can take cover for increased defense, use suppressive fire to hinder threats, and activate a precision shot where the closest Marine fires a powerful shot after a brief delay. You can ignite flammable surfaces to create choke points and throw down flares to increase the accuracy of your squad. SLOWDOWN. Of course, things can get very hectic when you're trying to quickly deal with incoming threats and plan out your next move. Fortunately, Aliens Dark Descent features a button to slow down time, giving you more breathing room. The clock is still ticking, so you'll have to make your next move eventually unless you fiddle with the accessibility settings. More on that later. Enemies. The Xenomorphs are the major threat on Lethe, and you'll encounter all of the classics, from facehuggers and runners to Praetorians and Queens. They'll react intelligently to your decisions and sneak up when you least expect it. Other enemy types include rogue elements from Weyland-Yutani and maintenance synths. There's even an enemy type that fuses human and xenomorph DNA into a terrifying new creation. Persistent levels. Each mission has different primary and secondary objectives to complete, with levels being large in scale. They're also persistent, so everything you do, whether opening new paths, welding doors, or unlocking new landing areas, will carry over if you ever revisit. You can even throw down motion trackers, which should provide details on the locations of xenomorphs of future runs. Interestingly, there's something called Planetary Infestation Level. It's unknown what this does, but it could rise throughout the campaign, and it's game over at the maximum level. Of course, it could also provide an increased challenge based on your progress. Time will tell. Marine Classes. There are 5 Marine classes to choose from. The Medic can have increased medkit and tool carrying capacity, increase the max HP of your Marines, and even reduce their stress when healed. The Gunner is adept at slaying hordes of enemies and can use their smart gun as a sentry unit, increase the slowing effect of suppressive fire for the whole team, and more. You'll have several upgrades to choose from with each promotion and can customize the appearance of each Marine, from their faces, hairstyles, and hair color to scars and fabrics. Weapons and Vehicles. Many of the weapons and vehicles will be familiar to fans, from the M41 Pulse Rifle to the M37A2 Pump Shotgun and Service Revolver. Each Marine can have a primary, secondary, and special weapon, with powerful choices like a sniper rifle, incinerator units, and RPG launcher falling into the special weapon slot. You can even get an APC, which can transport the squad between areas while mowing down any xenomorphs along the way. Stress. Xenomorphs will cause their fair share of damage to your squad if you're not careful, but stress is equally as dangerous. If you leave Marines uncared for, or don't give them proper time to rest, the stress can take its toll, with the developer describing it as a ticking time bomb. All the different ways it can affect performance remain to be seen. However, it's advised to take things slow, extract and return with a well-rested, upgraded squad rather than plunging headlong into escalating danger. Permadeath. If an ally goes down, you can instruct their squad mate to carry them, which is ideal for extracting without losing them. Death is permanent, so if a Marine dies, they're gone for good, and you need to train a recruit to fill out the squad. So, if a Xenomorph knocks a squad mate down and proceeds to drag them away, you'll want to save them ASAP from potential fates worse than death. As such, it's good to have multiple Marines available and ready to go in case other active members face low morale or poor health. Base upgrades. The Otago serves as your base. You'll make various decisions, like making speeches when morale is low to rally the troops, or intervening in a brawl between squad mates. Or not, resulting in both spending one day in the Medbay. You can research technologies like hive jammers, stasis grenades, and better armor, and develop new weapons like RPG launchers and mines for an edge in future scenarios. Accessibility and difficulty options. If you're not in the mood to be frustrated or want to focus on Dark Descent's story, there are accessibility options and different levels of difficulty to adjust. One of the options converts the slowdown into an actual pause button, so you can effectively play this as a real-time with pause tactics title, taking as much time as you'd like to respond to threats. Smart delivery. While its resolution and frame rate on consoles isn't confirmed, Aliens Dark Descent will support smart delivery on Xbox. As per the game's Xbox Store listing, you'll only need to buy it once to play it on Xbox One and Xbox Series X and S. The PlayStation Store listing also seemingly indicates that the PS4 and 5 versions are included together, so that's a nice bonus. PC requirements. On PC, you'll need Windows 10 or 11, DirectX 12, and 60 gigs of installation space to run the game. Its other requirements are pretty reasonable, with 1080p 30 frames per second on low settings requiring an AMD FX 6300 or Intel Core i3-6100 with 8 gigs of RAM and a Radeon R9 380 or GeForce GTX 960 with 3 gigs VRAM. Recommended requirements include a Ryzen 7 1800X or Core i7 9700K, 16 gigs of RAM, and a Radeon RX 5600 XT or NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2060 with 6 gigs of VRAM, with an SSD recommended. This setup delivers 1080p 60 frames per second gameplay on epic settings, which isn't too shabby, but as always, we'll wait till launch to see the actual performance. And that brings us to the end of the video. A quick request: we upload new videos every single day, and if you like what we're doing, please consider subscribing. It really helps us out. Also, don't forget to enable all notifications by clicking the bell icon so that you can receive daily video updates. Thanks for watching.